Okay, beautiful. So I want to say a huge congratulations to every one of you. So it's more like 10%. We had a little over 10%. Okay, because no, not necessarily. We had about I think 290 something persons enrolled for the training, 290 something persons. And even though from the first week we only had about 100 and something persons showed up, I'm surprised because we kept on reaching out to some people. Perhaps they did not get email just to be sure that they are aware we've started the training. We sent emails to them and we try to follow up as much as possible. But we only had 100 and something persons, about 150 or so were active. You understand? And if out of the 150, 100 to 150%, because at some point it was 100, 120, you understand, then 99. So for the first week, it was 100 plus. Then the second week, it dropped down to 99. So if out of the 99%, we have only 25% or about 20 plus persons active till the final day. Now, this is not to say that we don't have people that are very active, but they are not joining the session in real time. You get that? But based on those metrics, I mean, we have over 10% of persons that has been consistent to the end of the program. And for me, it's very commendable. And I really want to appreciate every one of you that has shown up. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So this is week one. We learned about AWS. We learned about cloud computing. Okay. And by the way, we're going to do a project today. So you don't think it's just going to be talks. Okay. So I think that's why I said the style for the project is very different. The style I intend to use. This is what we covered in the last class. So this is, let me show you. Yeah. So we're just going to talk about the WordPress project I promised you all. Okay. So we're going to touch the WordPress project and we're just going to explain everything and we'll just get started. Okay. So, but let me just run you all through so that you can understand. We talked about AWS projects. We also talked about IAM. We moved on. We talked about S3. We talked about some advanced features of IAM policies, right? We talked about how to use EC2 instance, how to deploy applications with EC2 instance. We tested different types of things on our EC2 instance, static websites, even Flask applications, you understand? So we moved on to learning AWS RDS, which is a database, right? So then we moved on to learning Route 53. Then we learned about CloudFront in the last class. Do you understand? Now, because of I the only thing I will really want to apologize for is this one, auto scaling. The reason is this, because of the length, right? And there are a lot of foundations I need to explain to cover this one, right? I might not touch this one. You understand? Because there are a lot of things. It would be unfair if I say, of course, I'm going to touch it in the intermediate class, but for the persons that will not, that are not yet ready for the intermediate, I'm going to do something about it. Okay, I will provide a resource to help you. Okay, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Please confirm on the comment section if you can hear me. I can see network issues.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay, good, good. I was thinking maybe I was the one that had the network issue. All right. So, yeah, so these are the things we've been able to cover all through the session, right? So I thought about the project I'm going to use to utilize everything we've touched. So into this project, today's session, we're going to learn how to set up a WordPress blog. You understand? Some of you have heard about WordPress before. Okay, it's a blogging platform, it's CMS. Okay, so in fact, I know people that their job is literally on WordPress. You understand? They are WordPress managers. They are everything they do is around WordPress. You understand? So if you know so well about it, if you can look into it, learn more about the plugins, how to configure, edit the CMS, awesome. It's a wonderful skill on its own. You understand? So I'll just give us a gentle introduction to it, and then we'll build upon it. Okay. So we're going to learn about we're going to do a lot of hands-on today. Okay. So we're going to talk about Apache. We're going to talk about the MySQL we've done before. Then we'll talk about PHP and how to set it up. You understand? And then we're going to mix it. Okay, I think I need to mute everybody because I think some persons are not aware your background is interrupting the recording. So let me just mute everybody. I hope you don't mind. Just because of the recording. So, right, so
Audio.
so this is what we're going to cover today. Okay. So it's going to be very hands-on. And if you want to practice alongside with me, great. That'll be very, very awesome. Okay. And this is how I'm going to help you so that you can practice alongside with me. If you okay, I think I should share this with you all. Anybody who wants to maybe practice this, copy this. I've not uploaded it, but I just copied and shared here in case anybody wants to just practice alongside with me. Okay, so oh, so sorry. I don't know it's going to put it like that, but maybe you can just copy it, all right? So I'm sure you'll be able to practice alongside, but I'm going to do the explanations and do everything. Unlike what we've been doing in previous session. In previous session, I just do it practically, okay? But in today's session, I decided to put everything together, okay? So that some of you can see the commands and have a mental memory. In fact, this is how the intermediate training is going to be like, okay? The intermediate training is going to have both live session and it's also going to have project documentation like this, but it's not going to be, it's going to have the images, the real world implementation. You understand? So that you get exactly the results. You understand? Just like the way you write your articles. Okay. You're going to see screenshots showing you how my own configuration is for each one of the projects. So I'm still working on all the projects. At least we have about 15 here. Okay. So I don't know if it's going to be more than 15 or so, but ideally that's just for the intermediate. So let's focus on what we want to touch. Okay. So any questions so far before we get started? Yes, the session is being recorded, Mr. Babs. Thank you for asking. Any question from anybody before we get started? Yes, I've shared it, Mr. Abdul. Okay. I've shared it. Okay, so I don't think there's any question from my end. Mr. Prince, would you want to type on the comment section just so that we can save time and also just get started immediately? All right, if you don't mind, please just type the question on the comment section. But if you need to really say something, then maybe at the end of the session I can unmute you and you can say something. All right. Thank you for your understanding. Okay. Oh, a completion certificate. I will discuss with him. I will discuss with him. Hopefully he does. It's going to be very helpful and boost our confidence. Yeah. Sometimes we need it, but for me, I've never had need for it, but I'll discuss with him. Okay. What TLD are not supported on AWS? I tried to use .com.ng that I bought. Okay. I think this is something we need to do, explain practically. So I will look into this. Please try to stay to the end of the session, okay? And I will look into it. Let me pin it down so that it doesn't disappear, okay? All right, friends. Thank you for joining today's session. In today's session, we want to set up. Is this the same for everybody? Is my network breaking out? You can type on the comment section, yes or no, please, just to be sure. Mrs. Barakat said it's breaking. Is this the same for everybody? Can you hear me audibly without any hiccup? Are we good? Please let me know in the comment section. Okay, okay. I think two persons confirmed they can hear me. Okay. Mrs. Barakat, I don't know if you will want to disconnect and reconnect again, please. Okay. If you experience the network issue again, please disconnect and reconnect. All right. Thank you so much for understanding. Okay. So friends, this is what we have. Okay. And not managing. No. So this is what we have here. Okay. So I've shared this to you all. So it's going to be very easy for us. We want to set up our WordPress project. Okay. So if you want to practice alongside with me, either you go to your AWS account or you can just open Killer Coder. The only thing is that you might not be able to integrate some other services we are going to add to it. Okay. Because we're going to add some cloud technologies to this WordPress project. Okay. So let's get started. So we're going to launch an EC2 instance and connect to the instance. All right. So either we, like I said, use Killer Coder, or if you have a virtual box, that will be fine. Or you can use AWS EC2 instance. So let's do that so that we can be very fast. Okay. So I'll just come here and I want to create an EC2 instance. So I'll come here and just call it blog. Okay. And WordPress blog server. Okay. So I will scroll down. I want this to be running on Ubuntu. Okay. I want this to run on Ubuntu. And it's going to be Ubuntu 24.0. Okay. I'll scroll down. And for the instance type, I'm sure you all know what to do. Please ensure that you choose something under free tier. Okay. But because I'm your trainer, I want this session to be fast. So I'm going to use something larger. Okay. So I'll just type T3 here and then use a RAM and memory that's higher. Okay. So I'll just choose maybe let's use this. Okay. This is better for me. If you must do this with me, make sure you terminate it after you're done. Don't leave it after a long time to avoid incurring any costs. Please, I encourage you to watch out for that. Okay. So make sure you set up a key. You can create a key or choose something you already have. Okay. So now I'm not going to touch any of this. I'm not going to touch any of this. I might explain something around VPC in our project week next week. Okay. So, but we're just going to check this box and then check this box. That's the only thing I'm doing here. And I don't intend to touch any other thing. Okay. I hope this is not confusing anybody. We're done. The name, the image is Ubuntu 24.0 T3.x large. You can choose free tier, please. If you don't have the money for it, keep it, create one, and just enable this, right? So the next thing I want to do is just to click on launch. Okay. All right. So while this opens, the next step we have here. So simple thing, like I did here, simple thing, you know what to do to launch an EC2 instance. We all know what to do. So that's why I put, so step two, this is step two. But before I proceed, can you all see this? It's called what? LAMP stack. I want you all to understand something as a DevOps cloud engineer or secure uploads. For instance, Instagram, if you might, as a cloud engineer, you want to know what is the stack what is the stack Okay, can't hear you. It's breaking. All right. Okay. Okay. I'll just take note of that. I'll try to backtrack. So, what is the stack that Instagram is using for their development? What programming language are they using for their database? What kind of database are they using for their cloud? What type of cloud service are they using for their caching service? What type of caching service are they using for their DNS? What type of DNS service are they using? Do you understand? For their CloudFront, what type? A combination of all these services. A, a combination of all these services. Okay. I'm going to get back to that, Mr. Banjoko. Okay, just give me some time. A combination of all these things I mentioned is what we call a stack. Okay. So sometimes you hear developers mention things like MERN stack, min stack. Okay. There are things like that. And these are combination of technologies. For instance, the popular one called MERN stack back in the day, it's a combination of MongoDB, Mongo for database. Okay, it's a combination of Express, you understand, and a combination of React and a combination of Node. Okay, so this is MongoDB, DB, Express, React, and Node. Whenever you see something like this, these are the technologies they used for setting up their application. Okay, so you might also hear things like, okay, let me show you. Let's do this practical. So if I come here and type web stack. So web stack is a collection of software used for web development that incorporates minimal operating system, programming language, database. Is the same thing I talked about. Okay, everybody defines it differently. Now, but let me click on images so you see something. So if you want to choose your stack, can you see something like this? So if you want to choose your stack, right, there are different things we usually consider. Okay, for the front end, for the back end, for the
Mr. Frederick, your network is breaking. We can't hear you.
Wait, is it my network? Sorry, please, someone confirm.
No, no, no. I guess it's Mr. Frederick's network.
Mr. Achiever's network is giving problem.
database Can you all hear me? So sorry. I guess it was my network. I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, good. So if you can see my screen, right? What you will notice is an image that says choosing a tech stack. And you can see different things there. Different things here. Some of them are programming languages. You understand? Different kinds of things. Okay. So, but how does this work? Now, the reason I'm explaining this is because some of you will be working with developers, designers, okay, architects. So I'm just trying to help your mindset. Okay. I'm trying to help you so that you can understand some basic foundational knowledge. Do you understand? So there are different things we usually consider. Okay. Let me use this one. For instance, this. If you watch here, you're going to see front end, you're going to see back end, you're going to see database, you're going to see server. You see that? You're going to see front end, back end, database, and then you're going to see server. So if as a cloud engineer, if I join an organization, right, one of the questions I want to ask them, or one of the questions they will ask me during interview is, can you tell me the stack you've used before? What kind of tech stack have you used before? Or in your previous organization, which tech stack did you use? Or have you been exposed to? You understand? So when you are asked that kind of question, that's what I'm trying to address now. Okay. So it's usually web development stack I'm focusing on, not maybe API development stack or maybe mobile application development stack. No. Okay, I'm just focusing right now on web development stack, but just know that in all, we refer to it as what? Tech stack. All right, tech stack. All right. Now, but our focus right now is on web development. Okay. Now, and if you're focusing on web development stack, right, we have front end, back end, database. So if your team wants to build front end, what kind of technologies can they use for their front end? Is it just HTML and CSS? This is HTML and CSS and JavaScript. Or they want to add something called React or any other technology. Okay, so that is for the front end stack. For the back end, what kind of technologies do they want to use? Is it Node? Is it .NET? Is it PHP? Is it C#, Express, or Java? For database, is it MySQL or Oracle? For the server, is it Nginx, Apache, or Lightspeed? Do you understand? So these are what we talk about when we say tech. Friends, please, do you understand this? Okay, so in the industry, we have coined out popular names for this stack. Okay, this technology stack. And if you watch here, you will see 5 of them that is very, very popular. 5 of them that is very, very popular. We have the MERN stack, LAMP stack, serverless stack, MERN stack, MERN stack, or MERN stack, as you pronounce it. Okay, so this is the one I wrote there. MERN, which is MongoDB, Express.js, React, and Node.js. You see that? Then another one called MERN stack, which is MongoDB, Express.js, AngularJS, and Node.js. So for the front end, so it's literally a combination of both front end and back end. Okay, right now there's nothing has to, there's database here, but there's nothing that has to do with some other technology if you want to integrate it. Okay, there are different things you can integrate into it. But in a nutshell, just to summarize this to a meaningful point so you can understand it, if you get an interview as a cloud engineer and you are asked, what kind of tech stack have you used before? Have you been exposed to? Okay, so in this session right now, we are trying to use the LAMP stack. Okay, so for a WordPress application, we usually use a LAMP stack. to set up a WordPress project. I hope that makes sense. Okay, it's not like we cannot use other technology. We can. Okay, we can. But in this example, I am focusing on LAMP. We can even use LAMP. When I say LAMP, it's removing the A to E. So instead of Apache, we will use Nginx. Okay, it's very, very possible. In fact, I would recommend every one of you after this session to use Nginx so that you can configure something we call reverse proxy. Okay, so but we might touch that during the intermediate class. So, but these are the popular stack. Okay, these are the technologies that organizations are going to use when they are building their projects. I hope this makes sense. There are much more than this. There are many more other than this. Okay, but I just want you to know that these are the popular 5. Okay, all right. Having understood the concept of stack, I think it's a good time to proceed. Okay, so right now we want to set up our own LAMP stack where L stands for Linux, okay? A stands for Apache, M stands for MongoDB, MySQL or MariaDB, and P stands for either Python, PHP, or Perl, but it's for the programming languages, okay? So M is for the databases, which is MySQL or MariaDB. A is for Apache. It can also be Nginx. And L is for Linux. Okay, so the combination, we call it a LAMP stack. I hope this makes sense to everybody. Good. Having said this, let us set it up. We've installed our, what is it called, instance. So let's get into the instance. I will just connect to it. So I'll click on this and click on connect and scroll down and click on connect. It's coming. It's coming. So while this is going to get ready, so we're going to do this installation, okay? We're going to update the operating system and we're going to install Apache, okay? What is Apache? Apache is a web server software. Apache is what? A web server software, just like Nginx. We've covered it in the previous class, okay? This 2 here is just the version number, okay? So I won't do much talking. So we'll do the starting and then we'll enable it. Okay, so these are Linux commands. Okay, I don't want you to get confused. That's why I'm explaining all this. So I'm just going to select all this and copy it. Although I may not be able to because I'll need to put -y for some of them. Okay, but I think this should be good. So I'll just hit enter. So what is happening? We are updating our operating system. Then we install our Apache. Then we start the Apache. Now, if you notice, if you install Apache without starting it, if you just install it, Apache will not be running. Okay, I want you to try it when you're practicing. I'm just doing this just to save time. Okay, so once you install Apache, go and test it. How do you test it? All you need to do is just to type coil space localhost, or you can go and test your IP. Okay, so if you watch what I said here, test and confirm Apache now runs. Okay, so there are different ways I can test if Apache runs. One of them is to say coil and type localhost. Okay, so and I think if we do, let's see, -i. So if I do this, as long as I can see a HTTP response of 200, we are good to go. But this can be confusing, so I won't touch it now. Maybe in the intermediate class, I'll explain all these features of the coil command. But let me just use it without the coil. If I do this, it's going to return a page. Did you see the page? It returns some HTML code. All right, it returns some HTML code. Now, the only way we can test it is to come here and get our IP. Is it not true? And then we can come here and paste it here and hit enter. Okay. Remember, we've already opened the security group when we were testing it, when we were setting up our instance. Can you remember when I was creating the instance, I checked those boxes. Okay, HTTP and HTTPS. So that's why you can see So if this works, it means we've installed Apache. This is how simple it is to set up Apache. Okay, which means we have our web server running. Okay, so it means it works the same way Nginx works. This is how Apache works. You can read a lot of things. Now, friends, just to save time, if you remember in the previous class when we worked with Nginx, there's usually a location that looks like this, /var ww, if you can remember. So Apache also has the same thing. Okay, so that's why it's telling you that this page you're seeing here, if you don't like this page, you can go to this location and go and edit this index page or replace it. I hope that makes sense to you all. So I can copy this and come here and go to this location. So if I come here and say sudo cat command and I paste this, I put slash and the index page. Let's see. Hold on. For some reason, ls. Okay. I see. I think I know what's happening. So sudo space cart. Then there's supposed to be a slash. Take notes in case you're copying it just like me. Put a slash before the var. Okay, /var/www.html. All right, and put a slash and then the index.html. And can you see there's something inside? Okay. Now I'm sure you all know, but our focus is not to touch anything. Okay. So if I do something like this, let me do a Linux command. Just follow along with me. If I do this echo Vivian is online today. And I do something like this, /var www html in index.html. Okay, if I do something like this, let me see. Let me see. It should work, but okay, so let me just manually go and do it by myself. So if I say sudo nano /var www html and index. Okay, good. So this is everything we have here. Now, do you notice that I've been using nano all since we started this session? Friends, can I deliberately not use nano? Remember that nano is what? A text editor. If you've used Linux, you know that nano is what? A text editor. Okay, so we're going to say sudo, and I'll use another editor called vi. Okay, that's fine, Mr. Paul. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to use vi, all right? So if I use vi and do the same thing, /var www html index. Now, for some of you, this is going to be very confusing. If you've not watched the Linux video I shared with you before, this will be confusing, but please just flow with me. So I'll just hit enter. Now we are in a program called VI, which is Vim. Okay. Now I just want to delete everything here. Okay. In fact, before you'll be able to do something, you need to press I to insert something. But in this case, I don't want to insert anything. I want to delete what is inside here. Okay. So what I will do is, if you watch the bottom here, you're going to see something. I'll press column. Okay. Can you see something here? There's column at the bottom here. I just press shift and column. Then I did what? Column %D. Did you see what I did? Column %D. Column %D. If I do this and hit enter, did you notice what happened? It wiped off everything. Did you understand what just happened? So that is how to work with VI. But maybe I may introduce you guys to it, but don't worry. You can use Nano if you don't want to use Vim, okay? I'll press I to insert something inside, I'll press I. You see, it has shown me insert. So I can now type something. I'll now say, this is our final class after 8 weeks. 3. Okay, so this is what I did here. Now to exit out of this, okay, I'm going to type it here so you can see it. It is column %d. Okay, column %d. All right, so I've typed something inside. To step out of this thing, notice it's in insert mode. Insert mode. If I want to step out of it, I need to press escape on the keyboard. ESC. Escape. Okay, you see that? Then after pressing escape, I'll need to press column and I'll need to press W. I'll press Q and exclamation. Now, friends, please don't get confused. Don't get confused. Okay, this is just Vim. Okay, to some persons, it's very confusing. Okay, do you need Vim for this thing we are doing? No, I just wanted to show you that there's something called Vim. Okay, you can use the nano we've always been using. Okay. All right. So, but I've actually edited it now. Okay. So if I use nano and open the same thing, watch, Control A. If I use nano and hit enter, you see, I've edited all those things inside. You see, so some of you are used to this one, but some professionals use this VI or Vim. I hope that makes sense. So Control X and we're good. So I've edited something inside. So if I come here and refresh this page, can you see? You see what happens? We're good to go, right? So you all understand how Apache Web Server works. So let's move to the next thing. Okay, we are done with this first part of step 2. The next step is to install MySQL and PHP. You all know what MySQL is, which is a database engine. Okay, and PHP is a programming language, a server-side programming language. Okay, now it's also, it can act a client side sometimes, but again, I don't want to touch it. Okay, just know that this command we're going to use, this first one we're going to use is going to install our MySQL server. The second one is going to configure our MySQL, which we've done. If you've watched the old videos, you can be able to relate. Okay, then this last one is to install PHP. Okay, now why are we installing this? Because if you are setting up WordPress, let me show you in case some of you have not heard about it. So WordPress, it's a blog platform. Okay, so if you want to set up WordPress, okay, WordPress works with PHP. Okay, this is a blog. Okay, so you can set up your own, customize your own. That's what I'm teaching you. If you don't want to go and create one here, okay, you can set up your own. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Okay, so we're trying to create our own blogging platform. Good. So what I will do is to do this installation. So to set up WordPress, we need somewhere to store our data, which is MySQL. Okay, to process it, it works with PHP. Okay, and we need to be able to let the PHP talk to MySQL. So if you notice, we're installing different things, PHP and a library module, and then PHP MySQL connector. So these are 3 things we are installing, but these are Linux commands. Okay, I'm just taking my time to explain it for some of you that might not have done this before. Okay, so all you need to do is just copy and paste. All right, so let's take the first one. So I'll copy this and come to my environment and paste this and hit enter. So it's going to install my SQL server for us. I hope this makes sense to everybody. In case you want to practice alongside with me, you can scroll on the comment section and I have explained all this for us before. Somebody's asking how to step out of the page. If you are referring to what is it called? The VI, you need to press ESC on the keyboard first. Once you are done, then you need to press column WQ. or if you can also put exclamation. These are the two things you need to do. It's interesting. It was very confusing when I started too, but over time it became very fun and exciting. So we've installed MySQL. You all know how to confirm MySQL is installed. Is it not true? So you can simply say sudo. You can even just say MySQL -v. Okay. Sorry, dash version. Let's see. Good. You see, MySQL is installed. We can even check if MySQL is running. Sudo MySQL. Sorry. Sudo systemctl, and then we say MySQL. You see that? It's running. Okay. We've all done this. So let's proceed and then let's do the secure configuration. Okay, so get the second one here. Right click and paste. I missed the S. I'll press Ctrl A to take my cursor to the beginning, and I'll press S there. Okay, so if I hit enter, it's going to ask me these questions. Okay, so I told you to press Y and press 0. It's going to skip it. Just press Y. Okay, I hope I'm not confusing you. The first thing I pressed was Y. Second thing I pressed was 0. The third thing I'm pressing is Y. So we're going to press Y successively, okay? Consecutively, rather. So if I hit enter, it asks me another question. I'll press Y, which is for yes. Y. Y. We've explained all this in our previous classes, okay? You see, this is the fun of it. It makes sense because we've done it before, all right? So now what we've done is we've set up our MySQL, all right? Now we want to set up our PHP. So we're going to copy this, okay, and install PHP. There are different ways to install PHP. Now, if in the future you are installing PHP in a different operating system, maybe Debian, maybe Red Hat or CentOS, you need to go and search online for a repository. There's a repository called REMI repository, a PHP REMI repository. Okay, because of time, I don't want to go into that. So if I say PHP REMI repo, okay, you can come here and search for the particular one you need. Okay, so but again, I don't want to dwell on this, but this is how we usually get the latest PHP application based on our operating system. Okay, so I just did that for the future when you get your job, and I only taught you Ubuntu so you can know how to solve other problems. So I'll just remember I told you it's installing 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if I hit enter, it's going to be installing all of them. Okay. Please remember to ask me questions on the comment section if you do not understand what I'm doing. All right. So I told you that PHP is the programming language. Okay. So it's something we need for our WordPress. So you can even come here and say WordPress stack. You understand? If you type WordPress stack, you are going to see all the stack that makes up WordPress. Okay, Apache or Nginx, PHP, and MySQL or MariaDB. You understand? These are the popular stack that comes with every WordPress. Okay, good. So that's why we are installing PHP, right? Now we've installed PHP. We can know that by typing PHP-v, and it will tell you the version of PHP installed. In fact, I can do something very interesting, very, very interesting. Let me show you all. Maybe you've never written anything on PHP before. If you just come and just type, maybe if I type ls, there's nothing here, no problem. Let me just use nano and say PHP example, or do I use example? Okay, let me go and okay, I'll go to my, let's cd into /var /ww HTML here. So if you type ls, notice that we only have index.html. Okay, so I'm going to create something here. So sudo nano, I'm putting sudo in case it gives me any error. So I want to create a file called index.php. Okay, so this is just for example purpose. So if I want to create a PHP code, I think this should be the syntax for PHP code. So PHP and something like this. I hope I'm correct. So if I do something like this and say echo, this is a PHP code. Okay, so yeah, and semicolon to end that line, right? So this is a code here. So if I press Control X, in the same way we write HTML, this is just a simple PHP code. All right. If I press Control X, I'll press Y, and I'll press Enter. Okay. So let's test and see if now I'm trying to test if my PHP has been installed. You know, this is the index.html. So let me reload this and see. If I put slash index.php and hit enter. Did you see it works? This is a PHP code. First, do you understand? So this shows that we've installed PHP and is working very, very fine. Okay, so I don't want to put php.info. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see if I don't want to use this echo. Now this is risky. This is risky, but let me just do it. What is it called? PHP info. PHP info. It's a function. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but let me check and just to be sure. PHP info page. Test page. Let me see. PHP info. I just want to be sure that I am not giving the wrong name. Okay. Then it's supposed to be PHP info. Okay, good. So I don't think there's any capital letter so that I don't get it wrong. So PHP info. Yeah. So Control X, Y, and enter. Okay. So let's see what happens. If I come here and reload this page again. Good. You see? Did you see what it did? So that PHP info I just did right now inside this file. Okay. So that's a PHP code inside this file here. So the Apache, which is a web server, is processing that PHP code and is displaying all this information. Okay. So back in the day, this is how we used to test our PHP if it's working very fine. Now, but please, you don't want to expose this because I'm going to delete this server at the end of the session. You don't want to expose this because this contains a whole lot of information, your operating system and other important information. Okay, please take notes and be careful when you are showing this page to external people if you are pasting it and showing it to anybody. Okay, all right, good. So what I just did was just to test if PHP is working fine. I hope this makes sense so far. If it makes sense, please can you type yes on the comment section? I've not lost you. It makes sense. You're good. We're making progress. Can you just type yes? Just to be sure. You all can hear me and you understand. Okay, good, good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so let's progress. Okay, so we've installed PHP and we've tested it and it's working. So whenever you do or anything like all those PHP stuff, it's a good practice to always restart the Apache in case. All right. In terms, maybe there are some things you do and it's not working. You want to make sure that you restart it just the same way you restart Nginx. Okay. So, but if you notice, I didn't restart it, but it still worked. But it's a good practice to always restart it. Okay. So, all right, let's continue so that we can save time. So step 3, configure MySQL database for WordPress. Okay, so you all know how it works. We've done it before. So this time around, I will be faster so that we can save time. Okay, So I will just paste this. So we want to go into our MySQL environment. Notice that you mustn't be in this direction. Okay, you mustn't be in this location. That's what I'm saying. If I press CD, I'll step out of here. Okay, you mustn't be there. Anywhere you are, this command will still work. Okay. 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 I want to believe you all can hear me. So let me see. I wanted to type ls exit. Okay, good. So just type in sudo space mysql space -u, which is root -p. Just hit enter. Okay. If it asks you for password, don't worry, just hit enter. Okay. We didn't set any password. I already taught you all how to set password. Okay, good. Now let's move on. We want to create our database where the WordPress will be storing its information. I've taught you all this, so I'll just save time and progress. I'll right click and paste this and hit enter. Okay. We want to create a user for the WordPress, a user that is going to have access to this database that we created. Okay, the name of the user is Ashraf. Okay, and then remember there's a password. Make sure if you want to copy this, that's fine. You can always update the information. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, right? And right click this and paste it. We've explained all this in our previous sessions. That's why I'm not going through it again. Okay, so now the next thing is to grant privilege to this user. Okay, and then flush the privileges and then exit. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm sure you all know what it is. So I'll just right click and paste it and hit enter and I'm out. Okay, we're good to go. Database setup done. We're not connecting externally. That's why we are using local hosts. All right, good. So now that we have database done, remember our technology stack. Let's come here. Let me see. When I before, let's see. What was that type? Let me see if it's this. WordPress stack. So when I did this WordPress stack, you can see that so we've set up Apache, we've set up PHP, we've set up MySQL. So this three has been set up. We've confirmed and tested it. So the next one we're trying to set up is WordPress. Okay, good. So now to set up WordPress is very, very simple. Okay, so you can go to the WordPress website to get the WordPress. How? If you come here and type WordPress, okay, and hit enter, this is the WordPress.com. Okay, so you can say download WordPress. Can you see this? This is different from this. Download WordPress. You can click on this and it will take you to their site. Okay, and then you can see the latest version. And then I want you to please pay rapt attention. Pay rapt attention. What did you see here? Recommended version. So this WordPress version works with PHP version 7.4 or greater. We are currently using PHP version 8.3, if I'm correct. You see that? So take note in case you start getting any error. You want to be sure that the version of your PHP and MySQL matches with your WordPress. This is to avoid errors. Okay? Please ensure this. Okay? So to download it, I can right click this thing. Okay, and then use wget to download it. Okay, but of course, all those things I have saved you the stress by telling you what to do here. Okay, I just created a folder, cd into that folder, and then download it. That's it here. I hope this is not confusing anybody. Okay, so this is latest. So you can do the same thing here. So I'll just come here and do the first one. So in fact, let's do both of them together. Right click, copy, and come here, right click, and paste. Okay, so if I hit enter, take note, it's going to create a folder called blog and then cd into it. So this is what we call chaining. In Linux, this is what we call chaining. We are chaining two commands. mkdir is to create the block folder. Then we'll chain it and say, after creating it, cd into it. Okay, so if I hit, then download this thing into it. So if I hit enter, this is what you're going to see. So did you notice that we are inside the block folder? Okay, hope this is making sense to everybody. If I type ls, you can see that there's a folder here called latest.tar.gzip. Okay, in Linux, this file is compressed, okay, and archived. And I've shown you how to learn those things. If you watch the Linux video, this will not be a problem for you, okay? But I've done the simple thing for you. Just copy this, okay? And then you'll be able to extract what is inside here, okay? There's something inside this thing here. So if you right click and paste this, it's going to extract what is inside that file. I hope this makes sense to everybody. As you can see, these are all the things inside it, okay? So it's extracting it. And when it's done, you're going to see a folder, okay? All right, so let's hold on for a few seconds, hopefully minutes, but it depends on the speed of your operating system. And that is why I chose a computer that has enough memory, okay? So we are done. If I type ls, you see, this is the original one, but when we extracted this using the tar command, this one, okay, that extracts verbose, the compressed file, and this is a file. So we were able to get this, okay? This is the folder, WordPress. Good. So now the next thing is this. We want to move this WordPress folder, okay? We want to move this WordPress folder into this location. I hope this makes sense to everybody, okay? So now there are different ways. You can choose to move the WordPress folder, or you can choose to move everything inside the WordPress folder, but I'm going to leave that up to you, okay? So, but let me just do what I have here so that we can save time, okay? I'm sure you all know what I mean, okay? Especially if you don't want to be putting /WordPress when we get to that point, okay? Please take note of that. So this WordPress folder here, we want to move it to this location, okay? If you don't want to move the folder, you want to move what is inside, you put a / and asterisk. I hope that makes sense to everybody, okay? So, but I'll just hit enter. And if we go and check what is inside /var, ww, and html, you're going to see that there's a folder called WordPress now. I hope that makes sense, okay? Now, let me show you something so you can understand what's happening. You know, if we come here, this is what we have. So if I come here right now and type WordPress and hit enter, notice what, can you see? Welcome to WordPress. Friends, can you see this? If you understood to this point, please can you just type yes on the comment section? You understood to this point, just type yes on the comment section, just to be sure. Okay? Are we good? Okay, great. Thank you, friends. Thank you. You're making great progress. Thank you. Okay, so now, but if you notice something, it's telling us we need to do some configuration and the rest of them. Okay, now, but I can choose this approach, but I want you to know the simple method. Okay, but you can use this approach. Okay, but because I already have everything documented here, so to avoid some kind of errors, okay, we'll need to give permission. Now, take note. We're using Apache as our web server. Apache wants to be able to communicate with this WordPress, okay? With this WordPress folder. You will want to be able to communicate with it, okay? So to avoid errors, there's something we need to do, okay? And this is what we are doing, changing ownership and changing the modification, okay? So there is a, Apache is currently has a user called www-data, okay? Whenever we install Apache, it uses this www-data, okay? So that's what we are using to update this. Take note of that, because if I come here and type, instead of the ls, and I use ll here, you're going to notice that this folder The only person who has access to this folder is Ubuntu. You see that? So you want Apache to have access to that folder. So to avoid any future errors, you want to make sure that you run this command. Okay, so that's why we're doing it. So right click this and copy it. Okay, and right click this and paste it and hit enter. Okay, I'm just running two commands at the same time. So we can move into that folder and then we'll do some configuration. So this is the step 5. All right, so I'll come down here. Let's move into that folder. So we'll just press up arrow key, Control A, and say sudo space cd. I don't need sudo for cd anyway, but let's just do it. Okay, I thought as much. I don't need sudo to go into that location. Okay, good. So we are inside here right now, and this is the WordPress folder. So let's go into this WordPress folder. Okay. If you're inside this WordPress folder and type ls, you see a lot of configurations here, a whole lot of things. And that is what that's what is responsible for this. Okay. And it's telling you how to configure it. There are a lot of things. You can read this article, okay? But I've saved you the stress, and that's what I want to show you how to do the configuration here. Okay. This thing here is what I'm showing you how to do it. Okay. So to do that, we'll just need to update something. So there's a file called config-sample, but we want to copy it into this. All right. So I'll just do this. Let's see. No, let's do this. Okay. So I want to copy this. Okay. So copy this, paste it. Now, first of all, if you watch here, watch these colors here, you will notice that the only thing we have is wp-config-sample.php, which is this one. So there's nothing like wp-config.php. We don't have it here yet, but that is what this WordPress needs. You understand? So that's the file it's looking for. You understand? It's going so this information is being used. That this information here will be used to create this file. Okay, and this file does not exist currently. Okay, so we are trying to create the file. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. So I'll hit enter, and if I type ls, you're going to notice that we have the previous one. Okay, and we also have that same one here. Let me see. So this is it here. You see that we have the two files here. Okay, so because I have that files now, if I click on let's go, it's going to work. Okay, now but it needs database name, username, and password so that it knows where it's going to store those information. We've not told it the database name and the rest of them. Okay, so if you come here, there's inside that wp-config. Okay, it's going to ask you all this information. Let me show you. Just come here and type sudo space nano and then type the wp, okay, dash config, okay, config, that's this one, right, and say .php. So if you hit enter, you're going to see so many things, but don't stress yourself, just focus on this area, okay? It's asking you for your database name, your username, your password, okay? All right, so I want to encourage you all to try and use RDS, okay? Because I want us to practice it with MySQL, that's why I'm doing this. But you can use RDS to connect to your WordPress instead of using MySQL local, okay? So take note of that. So you know that instead of using localhost here, you're going to use the RDS data endpoint, okay? I'm sure you all get it. Please, if you don't, ask questions, right? So it's asking me for the database name. So I remember my database here is WordPress. So I'll use WordPress. Okay. I can actually just check here, or I can go and so WordPress. Good. So and is asking me for my username. So my username is Ashraf, if I'm correct. Yes, the user is Ashraf. Okay, so let's say Ashraf. Okay, so it's asking me for my password. So this is the database details. Take note of that. Okay, it's asking me for the password. So password is Hola is my password name. So I just come here and say Hola is my password name. Okay, let's do it like this. Good. So I think we're good to go. Okay, these are the three details I'm populating here. I hope that makes sense and it's not confusing you. Right? So once you're done, that's all the three information. Just press Control X, Y, and then hit enter. Okay, we're good to go. So if you come here, right? If you scroll down, you see that's what I just showed you here. Okay, so that's it. So once you're done, you save and exit, and then we test it. Okay, so now if I come here and I click on let's go. Okay, this already exists. Of course, I've already created it. You may try installing now. Click on this. Okay, good. So you can see it's trying to install everything we've done so far. So if you can see this, just click on choose your favorite language. So I mean, I'd like to use this. I don't know how many of you will be able to interpret it for me. So I just choose the English and just click continue. So it's asking me for my so if you can see this page, you've done a good job. Okay. So please, this can be very confusing. If you don't carefully follow the process, the steps, you'll get an error and you can really get stuck there. Okay. So I will come here and say my site title is Cloud Engineering, Cloud Engineering for beginners. Okay. Engineering Bootcamp for beginners. Username. My username is going to be let's use a former. Okay. And now so take note. This username here is different from your database username. Okay, please don't forget this. This is different. Okay, so this is just maybe a username you want to use, and then any password you want to use. Okay, so it's such it has already created this password for me. But if you don't like it, you can create another password. Because this is a demo, that's why I'm leaving it with this. Okay, so this is a strong word. So my email, well, I won't tell you at gmail.com. All right, so search engine visibility, discourage search engine. You can leave it. And then when you're done, just click on install WordPress. So I'll click on this. Let's see. Good. Click on save. Now for this example, okay, no, I don't think I need to save it. So you can save it now, but WordPress has been installed. Thank you and enjoy. So this is our username. So it's telling me to log in. So I click on this. So remember, I copied that password. If I did not, it means I'm going to find it very difficult. So that's why I told you to be careful so you don't lose the username and password. So I put the username here and I paste the password. And this is the password, gibberish. So I just click on login. It's coming. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing. So we've been able to set up our WordPress. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We've been able to configure our WordPress project. LAMP stack successfully done. LAMP, we've used Linux, we've used Apache, we've used MySQL, and we've also used PHP. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your WordPress. Okay? Now, maybe just maybe you're not impressed yet. I mean, this is not what you used to see, right? No problem. Just come here. Maybe you want to create a post, right? Or you want to create a new page. Just click this pages, okay? And let's say add a new page. Just click on add a new page, and it's going to take you to this place. And then for now, don't worry, my guy. So you can choose any template of your choice. Now, but I'm not teaching you guys how to work with WordPress. It might be no. So I'm just gonna choose this. Don't mind me. I think I'm hyped. So now, so I just choose something like this. So maybe so I've choose this template. I'll come here and say join my intermediate session and gain more hands-on project-based experience. Okay, so now this is what I have here. This is what it looks like. Okay, and then again, remember, I'm not teaching you how this works, but when I'm done, I'll just click on publish. Okay, and then you can see some things here. This is to configure the email and do some other things. But for now, I don't mind. So I'll just click on publish. Okay. So view page. So I can copy this. Let me copy it and share it to you all. My audience. I'll copy this. Shineki. Yeah, I think I'm correct. So please click on it and confirm if it's working. Kindly click on it and confirm. So I can click on view page. Don't worry, we'll get there. So can you see? This is my WordPress. So I just have a beautiful page like this. So I can go back and edit something. I can go to the admin panel. Okay. I can go to the admin page to go and edit some things. Okay. Or you can go back and edit the page and do a lot of things, but we're not going to dwell on this. Okay. We're not going to dwell on it because of course, because of time. Okay. So, but if you have experience on HTML and CSS, this will be very, very simple for you. You see? And this will be running on EC2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how to set up our WordPress blog. Okay. Pardon me if you don't like this, but in case you want to use something we call plugins, okay, you can come here. Okay. So plugins are kind of softwares or programs that you can integrate into your okay, thank you so much, Mr. Babs, for confirming. Thank you. Plugins are programs you can integrate to make your WordPress more secure, to make it more interactive, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can have as many plugins as possible. Now, but there's something called themes as well, maybe for the appearance. Okay, so maybe you don't like that one that it showed us. You can use this free one. So if I click on activate, let me see. I don't know if it's free, but let me click on activate to activate this theme. So I've activated it. Let me see. New theme activated. I'll click on visit site. Let me see. Okay, good. So, so can you see? This is our WordPress blog. So right now, this is the only blog we have here. So this is the page you will see. But when you come, this is the first page you will see. I can add as many pages as possible. Okay. So this is one page and so on. Let me show you guys something. Hansel Scott blog. Let me see. Hasselman here. So this is somebody I respect a lot in the IT industry, right? He's an elderly person, and this man has been very, very instrumental in my learning. Okay. Now he works in Microsoft, and he has been in this thing for a very, very long time. You understand? Now he has a YouTube channel. He does a lot of things, a whole lot of things. Now, but why am I showing you this? Okay. Now this man blogs every single thing he's learning, every single thing he has been learning for a very long time. So let me click on his blog and show you something. So I clicked on blog, and if you scroll down, this is the current one, right? Now, if you come here, let's see. I think he has changed the style. So, but you can see different topics for his blogs, right? Let me see. So if you want to see older posts, you can click on this and it will show you older posts. You understand? So different blogs. Do you understand? So I got tired, and he's just documenting everything. You understand? So a lot of people use blogs to document their learning. Do you understand? So there's another person, I think I know his name. What's his name? Shady. What's his name? DevOps blog. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. I'm not sure if this is his blog, but let me see. Okay, good. So this is this guy called Shedrack Akintaya. It's a friend of mine. Okay, so this is his own blog. You see that? This is different things on different topics. So he's not paying anybody, but it depends on the platform he used to set up his own blog. Okay, so you can also document your own learning. Okay, and then share people the link and have all of them there. Okay, if you want to learn. If you want to learn more about DevOps, you can click here, and this is his own information on DevOps. Do you understand? I hope this makes sense to everyone. So, just to dive deeper and address this question, what about domain? Yes, that's a very beautiful question. Okay, now, this documentation stops here because I actually promised I'm going to integrate it with cloud technologies. Now, if you watch what we have here, let's close this. So let's close this. Let's close this. So if you have watch what we have here, it has an IP and it has a link. Okay. In the real world, you don't want to give the customer this, right? You want to be able to give them a domain name. Okay. So let's see how we can integrate some of those things. What do I mean by you want to give them a domain name? You want to give them your domain name www.cloudsecurity.com. That's what you want to give them rather than this IP. You understand? And we've taught you in the previous class that AWS has specific services for those things, right? Because you can your IP, it will be difficult for others to locate this your computer. Do you understand? So AWS has a service called Route 53, which will help us for the DNS routing. Do you understand? Good. So how do we set this up? I'm going to show you. So if I come here, I'm going to show you AWS Route 53. Okay. So AWS Route 53. In the previous class, I showed you how to set this up. Okay. I taught you how to register a domain. Okay. And we've done this. Now, once you register a domain, either on AWS or maybe you get one externally, you can add that domain to AWS by creating what we call a hosted zone, a container to store that's your website details. Okay, so all you need to do is just to click on this. Okay, so once you click on create hosted zone, it's going to give you an opportunity, a place where you can document the information for your website. But if you created this website on what is it called, on AWS, okay, you're going to see the display like this. I hope this makes sense to everybody. Please refer to the previous videos for more understanding. So I've already bought this cloud security demo site.co.uk. It costed me $9, right? I just did that because I wanted you all to understand it in real time. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. Okay, and then what, because I told you we have public and we have private. Okay, so but for now, everything we are doing is just going to be what I'm showing you. Okay, so I talked about different types of records: A records, quadruple, which is AAA record, CNAME record, SOA record, which is start of authority, CAA record, and so on and so forth. But you don't need to memorize all these things. So just to show you more practically, okay, our job is to point this thing to this domain here. So how do we do it? Very simple. The first thing we do is to create what we call an A record. A record. So how do you do it? Just click on this called create record. Okay. Remember, I'm on the site, the domain. Then I taught you about routing. different routing policies. Okay, so if either you want to use this one or you can switch to this. Okay, this is how some of you might see it. Okay, if you don't want to use this method, you can switch to the wizard. I hope this is not confusing anybody. All right, so now, but let me switch to this other one because in most cases, this is how some of you will see it. Okay, so now it's asking you, what do you want here? So if I say what I want there is achiever, so my what I wanted. So remember, this is my FQDN, fully qualified domain name. Okay, so do I want to have a subdomain achiever.cloudsecuritydemosite.com, or do I want to have www.cloudsecurity? So there will be a subdomain. Okay, so this is the root domain, but I need a subdomain? I can leave it like this, it will still work. Do you understand? But just for the purpose of this demonstration, I just want to put a subdomain here. Okay, so or let me use somebody's name in this session. So let me say Babs. Okay, babs.cloudsecurity.demosite.co.uk. See that? Okay, so now what type of record? A record. So there are different types of record types here. Okay, I explained this to you all. Okay, now okay, so I'll just leave it the way it is. I won't touch anything. I just left it the way it is. This is a record. So when it collapses, this is how it looks like. Okay, I'm just showing you. Babs, I left it at a record. I'm not going to touch this alias right now. So it's asking me for the value. Okay, so all you need to do is just come here, get this public IP. Did you see this public IP? Get it here. Okay, you know other places to get the public IP. Is it not true? So you can just come here and paste it here. Okay. Now, it will still work like this, but just to avoid any confusion, just put only the number. Okay. Put just this. Okay. And then now, can you see TTL, which is time to leave? Now, which means how long do you want it to be cached on my browser or on the ISP cache memory, on the DNS record server? How long do you want it to retain the information? Do you understand? So you can decide those kind of details. Okay, so you can use 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. You can use 2 days. Okay, so for good practice is within this range. Okay, if you use more days, I've told you the consequence. But just for this class, I'll just click on 1 minute, which is 60 seconds. The more you click on this, the more it increased by 60 seconds. Let me show you. If you click on this, you see, so if you do this, but let's leave it at this. Now, this is the routing policy. You can choose any routing policy, but I'll leave it the way it is with simple. And I'll click on create records. Okay, now it's creating the record. So can you see it has created this record? Okay, now so it was 5 before, now we have 6. Okay, in your own case, it might not be this total number because I've been using this before now. Okay, so this is the one we just created. Okay, we just created. If you want to know more information about it, you can click on view status, or if you check this box here, you're going to see this here. Okay, you can see more information about it, but it's not ready yet. So you can click on view status so you can see it says currently pending. So let's wait for a few seconds because can you see it's in sync now? It's because I used 30 seconds. Okay, no, was it 30 seconds? I used 1 minute, which is 60 seconds for the TTL. So it has gone live. You understand? So can we go and test it? So let's try it together. I'll click on this. So I'll go backwards. Okay. And then I'll choose this Babs here. This is the one I work with. And this is the record name here. babs.cloudsecurity.demosite.co.uk. So I'll share it with you all so you can practice with me. So I'll share it with you. So Babs was the one who asked the question. So I'll click on this and paste it. So can somebody test it and confirm if it's working? Yes, I did. I searched them on Google, Mr. Ashraf. Yes, but there are people I already know. Okay, Shadrach is a friend of mine. So but Mr. Hansel is like a mentor to me. Okay, although from a distance. Okay, I learned from him. So can you all click on this and confirm if it's working? confirm. Let's paste it. So if I do this, let's see if it's working. It's working. Oh my God, it's working. Now, how many of you saw this? Can you see? It's working. This is our final class after 8 weeks. Hooray. So now, can you guys see there's a problem somewhere? Now, I told you how to solve that problem. Now, did you notice that thing I was doing on the documentation here? When I was telling you something about this movement of WordPress, MV move WordPress to this location. I told you you can move everything into this HTML folder instead of moving the WordPress folder. You see, the consequence is that, yes, this is working, but the only way to see our WordPress is to come here and put a slash and say WordPress. You see, that's it. So once you put slash WordPress, then you have this. Friends, did you understand? Is it working? I hope this is making sense to everybody. You see, this is how to integrate all those things together. You see that? Okay. I hope it makes sense. Any questions so far? Let me see if it's working. Okay, great, it's working. Okay. I've asked about the file that contains the step on the code. If you scroll up, Mr. Emmanuel, I've shared it. The codes, I've shared it. Scroll up, you're going to see the codes there. Okay. Please scroll up, you're going to see all these codes there. Right? I've shared it already. So, yeah. So this is it. This is how to point it to a domain. Okay. Now, because of time, if you see, there's a lot of problems. You see, that's the beauty of cloud engineering. There are a lot of things we can do. Do you understand? So no problem. I will share it, Mr. Ashraf. Okay. Did you notice that this is saying not secure? And what if you want to use CloudFront for this? You understand? Because we use Route 53 to get this. Our site is working fine. What if you want to use CloudFront? And you all know, remember, I taught you something. I told you what CloudFront is, which is a CDN as a service. Take note that it's not all the time that you use those CloudFronts. I told you the best use case for it is for companies that has a lot of customers. That's one. Two, they want to have a lot of backups, redundant servers that their customers can access from different points. Three, I told you about what is it called? Data protection. Okay, for compliance. They don't want the data to move. Data in US remains in US, data in Nigeria remains in Nigeria, all those kind of things. Geo restriction and the rest of them. These are all the powerful features of CDN service called CloudFront. So you may be asked to use CloudFront, okay? And I've taught you how to do that. Maybe, okay, let me just try and do that and then wrap up the class, okay? But I would have stopped here, but just maybe, okay, I think that it's a good thing. I'll stop here so that I'm sure right now you all know how to work with what is it called? CloudFront. So all you need to do is just to create a distribution, okay? So once you create a distribution, then you can be able to point it, okay? So I think maybe I'll leave this as a practical for you all. Anybody that wants to try this, try it and then let me know, okay? So click on the create distribution, okay? Now, if you ask you for the origin domain, okay? Now, if you watch here, you will not be able to see anything, okay? So you'll be wondering, because in the last class, we used S3, okay? We use S3. So you might want to use S3, but if you don't want to use S3, you can use your EC2 instance, okay? So all you need to do is to come here, and this is the WordPress blog. Can you see public DNS name? Click on this, okay? And come here and paste this origin. Can you see? Paste it here and click this, use this, okay? Leave everything the way it is as default, okay? You don't need to touch anything, okay? Then I think that's all. That's basically all. If I want to use this, okay, you know what? Let me just do this for you all. Yeah, everything as default for now. I've explained I've explained these things in the last class, okay, when we learned about CloudFront, okay? So we've explained all this. Now, if you want to be using a certificate, there's a service called ACM. ACM, okay? Some sites are secure, some sites are not secure. HTTPS and the rest of them, okay? Can you see this is not secure? Okay, I'm going to dive deep on this in the intermediate class and show you the benefit of this as regards encryption and the rest of them. Okay, so you can use this and request a certificate, but I already have one. If you click here, you can choose this. Okay, so but if you click on this, you can request a certificate. It's free. Okay, so but if I choose this, this is what we have, and scroll down. Now it's asking you for the default root object. Now, just type index.php. Okay, index.php. Now, for some reason, some things might not load well. Okay, I have a reason for telling you this. This is because of the way I did this movement. Okay, because of this movement. Okay, take note of that because of this. All right, so now if I do this and I click on create distribution, it's going to create a distribution for me. Okay, and I told you it's going to take some few seconds or minutes to deploy. And when it's done, you can test it with this CloudFront distribution. And I've told you about some of these features here. Okay, you can create an error page. You can set up some invalidation to cancel or to change it to something whenever there's a new update. Do you understand? You can set tags. You can put an origin group, different origins. You understand? You can put security like WAF and also restriction, geographic restriction. You understand? So all these things were the things we covered in the last class. So let's see, the CloudFront is not ready yet, but if I hit enter, it's not yet ready. So, but I taught you all in the last class. So, but I think, yeah, this is a good place to stop actually. So friends, ask me your questions if you have any, please. Okay, so any question? Any question, friends? Any question? Any question? Okay, so let me unmute and give you all a okay. I think I can see questions here. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to answer them, but let me allow some people to say something, and then yeah. But first of all, let me quickly show you how, because it's a good practice to always learn how to delete and turn off some of these resources, please. So I'm going to do it in front of you. It's a good practice so that you don't forget, so that you do not forget. Okay. So let's see. Is this guy ready? This guy is not ready. So, but I wanted to disable this CloudFront. Okay, let me just wait for a few seconds. And when this guy is ready, then I will test it. And once it's working fine, then I can delete all the resources. Okay. All right. So let me address your question. So, Mr. Prince, you want to ask a question? So let me, please, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, go ahead, unmute yourself. Mr. Prince, are you there? Go ahead and ask your question, please. Mr. Prince, are you there? Go ahead and say something. I'm not sure I can hear you. I'm not sure I can hear you.
How about now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right, you can hear me now, right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chiva. And
You're welcome,
I asked the first question already concerning the domain. So I purchased the domain .com.ng. I don't know if that won't work. I think I tried using it for the first action, and then
okay,
AWS the prompt that you don't accept that top level domain. So I don't know if it will affect me. Maybe I have to get the one that is accepted.
Okay, so where did you buy the domain?
From
Which platform?
Global Hosting. Global hosting.
Global hosting. So if I understand you correctly, right? So you bought the domain elsewhere, right? And then when you
Yes.
came to Route 53, okay, so this is what you saw, hosted zones. And your job is to click on create hosted zone and then put the domain name. Is it not true?
Yes, this one worked. I was able to do this.
Then you don't have any problem.
Okay, so I don't need to migrate it. I just have to add it here.
So once you just create this information, let's assume that what you are giving me is prints dot is it dot what? Dot something dot ng
.com.ng.
dot com dot ng. So remember it's public hosted zone. Okay. So
Yeah.
if this is all, just click on create hosted zone. You see that? Now it's going to create two special type of records for you called the name server records and the start of authority record. Okay. Now what you should do, right, is you will need these records. You see these routes it gave you here, this name server routes here. So if you go to your domain, okay, where you bought it, you need to go to the console, the panel, somewhere setting or dashboard somewhere, okay? It's going to show you where to configure it, okay? Once you go there, it's going to tell you to create a type of record, which is going to be either a record or name server. Actually, it's a name server record, okay? Just choose name server record and then put this information there. That's all. Once you put this information there, that's all. So you'll be able to point your domain to Route 53. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Good. So once you try that, it's going to work.
All right.
Yep.
Then my last question.
Go ahead, sir.
All right. So after this boot camp, I'm
Yes, sir.
planning on taking my cloud practitioner this year.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's recommended or if you have other recommendations. Let's say platforms that I can learn and prepare for the exam, and any other takes or tips.
Okay. The truth is this: for the with if you're able to practice everything we've done back to back to back, right? Trust me, I can even guarantee that if you go and write the exams, you will pass. Right now, but just because it's not really a hands-on type of exam, and it's usually objective questions, right? Multi-choice questions. So you want to be familiar with the pattern, the approach, right? So you need to check some past questions. Okay. So I have a Udemy account, okay, and I have a lot of courses there, and I have some cloud practitioner guides there. Okay. So just maybe I will try and post it on the what is it called? I will try and post it on the Telegram channel. So you can use those credentials, then search my channel, my Udemy account. You're going to see some AWS practitioner, solutions architect, any type of exam you want to write on AWS, you'll see them there. Okay, there are recent ones there. So you can go through some of those exams. But if you don't want to go through a Udemy, you can just go to a site. There's this site I recommend. Okay. So it's called Exam Pro. Okay, I recommend it a lot. Exam Pro, AWS Cloud Practitioner. Yeah, so they give you a practice test, but you need to pay for it. But I think you can take a free practice exams. Okay, so you don't need to pay this $29. Okay, so but you can practice this. Some of you must have seen this guy on LinkedIn. If you're very active, you know him. So now, sir, you can click on this access now, and you'll be able to access this guy's course, and then go through his practice exams. Do you understand? And when you go through his practice question, trust me, with the video he taught you, he's going to teach you, and with what I have taught you, plus this practice exam, if you don't pass it, then Just probably they don't like you. You understand, sir? I think this is a better way to try it out, okay? Or you can go to
All right.
YouTube and just type AWS Cloud Practitioner CLFCO2 latest, okay? And you see some free dumps there and you can watch the video. But basically some of the things that you want, although there are some basic things they will point out to emphasize that the questions are going to ask you. So let me use this question you asked for any other person interested. So a good way to showcase that you have this cloud experience is to write certifications. I think we've talked about this a lot during our Friday review session. Okay, so you can please refer to the Friday review sessions. It's all uploaded in the drive, although I've not uploaded the last one. Okay, so but if you check the review sessions, you see I talked a lot about some of these things. I even talked about how to get some of the free vouchers. You understand? In case you don't have the money to pay for this cloud certification. I even talked about which one to go for. Should you go for this one or do you go for the one higher than this? Because AWS has 12 certifications. So I've talked about all this in our review session. Okay, so you can watch the videos and be more informed on it. Okay, I hope this answers your question. Okay, and if you want to go with a certification or so if you want to go for the certification first before you dive further in your cloud journey, that's fine. Okay, well, either one, but I'll be welcoming you with open hands for my intermediate training. Okay, all right. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Prince.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Mr. Babatunde, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you for the classes. God bless.
You're
Please,
welcome.
Marwan, this documentation, please, how do we get it? Was it the one that you posted on the group? The projects?
You mean this one?
The documentation, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
posted on
okay.
the comment section. But in case you can see this, I could just upload this to, you know what? I could just do this thing now. I don't have to wait. I can actually just do it right now in front of you all, docs. Just paste it in Microsoft Word documents and share the link, right? So that I don't procrastinate. So,
Yeah, some pictures were posted. Well, there were lots. Some pictures were posted on the group. I don't know what those were. I was thinking it was documents on the
oh,
group.
this is
I don't.
blood. So come again. What did you say? I didn't get that.
Yeah, some pictures were posted on the group. I'm trying to. Yeah, like some project title, some documents are posted on the group. Title document. I don't know if you.
Okay,
Well, so I
I
was
think
thinking
it
that was
was
where you.
Mr. Okay, I think that was Mr. If I'm correct, that is Enoch, right? If I'm correct, he's the one who uploaded that. So
Oh, okay.
he's just trying to create a real world approach to some of those projects or things we've done during the
Oh,
session,
okay.
right?
Okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
I told him to share. It could be helpful to any other person. You understand?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's why he shared it. So sorry, this is not formatted, but I might try to format it. So, but right now, let me just share this with any one of you that could be interested. Okay. So, you
Okay.
need to
So,
watch the video.
hello. Hello. Hello.
So go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I can
didn't
hear
hear
you.
the
Sorry, I
last
can
part.
hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. So now WordPress now. So this what you're doing now, you are hosting a WordPress on the server, right? That's what we did
Yes.
today.
Yes.
So now this is where I'm a little bit confused, please. Now, when I remember some years ago when we were younger, we used to create websites from WordPress.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're probably, so we used to create
I
website
also
from
did that.
website. So
Mhm.
your website. So but it will have in the domain. It's going to have WordPress
Mhm.
in it.
Mhm.
So now and those ones, the website, even though they want a proper website, but at least they could do a little bit of maybe blogging and maybe for also business and all. But so how is this different from that?
It's literally the same thing. The only difference is that you are customizing it. You have access to the back end server. Yes, you have access to the admin, so the admin panel to edit anything, but you are the one that have access to the back end code where everything is stored. But in the past, you don't have access to it. Everything is being done on WordPress servers. Do you understand?
Okay.
That's why when I went to their platform and I typed WordPress, right? If you remember, I just typed WordPress, right? And it took us to the WordPress blog, right? It showed us something like this. You get? So if you create a blog, right? Everything you'll be doing here is literally going to be on their server.
Okay.
Do you understand? So, but in this case, you are, as a cloud engineer, you are hosting it on your own server, on your own computer. You have more flexibilities. You understand?
Okay.
You have more flexibility. You can do a lot of things, and you can choose if, for any reason, data is the issue, memory is the issue, you can always increase it, and so on and so forth. Do you understand? So it has more benefits as a cloud engineer over having access to running it on their own servers. Do you understand? Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. All right. So any other question? Okay, Mr. Obiver, go ahead, please. Can you unmute yourself?
All right, good evening, Chief.
Hi, good evening,
Thank you
sir. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for staying
It's
through.
been
You're welcome.
it's been a big ride with you.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you. Awesome.
my question is, like now, having hosted this on AWS, I want to find out, is it cheaper to do so on AWS or to do a regular hosting to host my WordPress blog? Which one would be cheaper?
Okay, so first of all, what do you mean by regular hosting?
Okay, so
Now,
let's
why?
say I buy, I
Go ahead.
I get a domain space and
Okay.
then I install my WordPress from my cPanel. And let's say for a year, let's say I buy a small domain space for a year, like if you do on Go54, for instance, that's the former there's one hosting company, their name, I've forgotten their name now, but they are now Go54. So let's say you buy a regular Linux hosting for about 9,000 per annum, and you were running your blog on it. Will it be cheaper, or would it be cheaper as running it on AWS?
Honestly, it depends, right? Because what other thing is because when you talk about hosting, it's
Yes.
it's contextual, right?
Okay.
Is it
Okay.
application hosting? Is it database hosting? Is it website hosting? Right? So now, but based on your explanation so far, it's more or less like a domain hosting, right? And that is what some of those guys are used for. Like you want to host your website, okay? You
Okay.
know, the where you where you purchase the domain registrars are different from domain hosting. Okay, that's the
True.
company that
True.
hosts that hosts your website. Do you understand?
Yes.
So then now, but the beautiful thing that we have in recent time is this: you having access to it, you having control to it is the is it's where you have leverage than before. Okay,
Okay.
like using some of those panels and the rest,
Mm,
you don't have access to the back end. You don't have access to all those things you get.
okay.
But AWS as a cloud provider, they are giving you room to create everything and then just connect it to the domain. We have everything. So that's why you're using your engineering skills to now put all the puzzle together. Do you
Okay.
understand? But if you go to this domain hosting companies, right? And of course, there are different tiers you
Yes.
can subscribe for. You understand?
Yes.
And that would determine the speed of the
Cost.
server, the cost, and so on and so forth. You see that?
Mhm.
Now, so but they are the one doing the configuration and managing the server behind the scene, the downtime and the rest of them. So if there's any downtime from their end, it's going to affect your website. And
Yes.
AWS has more the lowest
Availability.
latency and more
Mm.
availability. So I think I
Mm.
can rely on them much more.
More.
Do you
Okay.
understand? You see, so that's the strong edge they have over other
Others.
domain hosting platforms there. Do you understand?
Okay.
So GoDaddy can try. I don't know. I'm sure that GoDaddy behind the scene uses AWS too.
AWS
You
probably.
understand? I'm sure. So some of these domain hosting companies too, they use AWS and Azure, the rest of them, because it's very expensive to buy these servers and manage them. You
Yes.
understand? So I hope that answers your
Okay.
question.
Yes. Then a second question.
Yes, sir.
After this program, let's say those who are able to do the intermediate class and then they start applying for jobs. Like for instance, I see remote jobs and they're like, oh, people within Europe, people within the US. Or is it possible to apply for those jobs from outside the US? Say maybe change your IP address and apply, even though you are not resident in the US, because some of them do not specify. But when I go through, I see, oh, these people, this is like mostly for those who are within the US continent, the United States, or maybe North America. So in such situations, do we need to be changing our location and all those type of
Okay.
things?
Okay. I think I get you. So the truth is this: changing your IP is one thing.
Okay.
Using a VPN is one thing. But going for the interview, applying is one thing. Going for the interview is another thing.
Interview, they will,
Because when you
yes,
provide
they'll
your
eventually
data,
find out.
how do you understand? So I think
Yes.
I addressed this in one of our review and mentorship session, right?
Oh,
I think
okay.
I
Okay.
explained this in detail. So that's why I was referring to all. So if you check one of those videos, I'm sure in all
Videos,
the
okay.
sessions there will be something to learn. I usually upload it on the drive there. So I think my explanation may not be as sufficient as what I shared in all the review sessions. Please, I'll encourage you to try and
I'll go
just
and download the
maybe
reviews.
listen to it, and maybe you can increase the speed so that you can watch it at a faster
No problem.
time. Okay.
I'll go and watch the reviews.
Okay. Okay, sir. All right. So, Mr. Babatunde, have we answered your question, or do you still have another? Thank you so much. So, friends, I really want to appreciate every one of you for showing up consistently. So, we still have next week is going to be our project week. Okay. So, we're actually officially done with the training program. Okay. For 8 weeks, we've delivered our own side of the bargain. Okay. So, what we just want to do now is just to add some spice to it. Okay. So that you can feel more confident. So I don't know if I'll still do any other project so because I mean this WordPress one we've done can suffice for it, but just maybe we might do another one. Or if we don't do another one, what we want to do is this for this project week, we want to I'm going to take the attendance report of okay, I would have said let me use the attendance report of just those who joined this session, but it will be unfair for those who is going to watch the recording. But we'll just get the names of some persons, we'll pair you all, okay, and maybe send you an email just to let you know the your group members, okay. Now we expect you all to meet, okay, and we're going to give you a project topic. We're going to show you how it's going to be done because we're going to be using Jira. We're going to be doing the way it's been done in the real world, okay, to create tickets and the rest of them, okay, what we expect from you all and the rest of them, okay, and then you're going to work in groups to implement the project, okay, and then when you are done, we are going to do a demo presentation. So just maybe, I think Chief Abiola and the rest, then if possible, we might announce it on LinkedIn and Twitter or any platform so that people externally can also join. You can also invite your friends and anybody, right? To just join and see you doing your demo. So that's where we're going to also if possible, I could invite some of my friends to, or invite some recruiters that I know. You understand? So, and once we're done, so it's just to show your confidence on what you have done and if you understand it and so on. So, but we are going to be available. So this is going to be open for the next 1-2 weeks. Okay. So that you all can understand the project phase and understand it so well. And then once we are done with it, I think we officially close and delete the channels and access to anything if there's any. Okay, so that'll be it. Okay. So friends, thank you so much again. Please let me know if you have
Hello.
any questions.
Uh,
I'm going to stop the
yeah,
recording
Mr.
now.
Felix.
Okay, I think this is Jafar, if I'm correct. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
good
please.
evening.
Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead. Good evening.
I heard you saying you were going